Hello everyone, this is Lateness Raven. I tell you how to do it, even if you don't care. And, well, it's kind of pointless now to hide my face since you can see it when if you watch any of the videos on the Fearless Games blog, which, if you haven't subscribed to already, I highly recommend doing that now. I'll put a link in the description and put up like one of those little pop-up bubbles right here to send you to the channel. And now is actually the best time to do it because we're doing a contest giveaway for a Dystopian Wars. The Dystopian Wars rulebook 1.1 just came out February 27th, and so the Fearless Gamers on that channel have decided to celebrate with a contest giveaway for the Kingdom of Britannia Naval Battle Group for the Dystopian Wars game. It's everything you need to get started with the game, and it's a great little box set. It's a $60 value, so we're giving that away to one lucky person, and all you have to do is subscribe. You subscribe to the channel, you're automatically entered, and if you go to the video that says, Dystopian Wars contest giveaway, and you make a legit comment about the game Dystopian Wars, you get entered in for a second entry into the contest, so you double your chances of winning the giveaway. It's a really neat, cool thing, and you're probably going to see more videos from me on that channel than this one, just because, that's kind of where most of the videos are going to be going. Here I'm going to try and, try to keep it a little bit more personal with the blogging. We'll see how well that goes. I do apologize for the lateness of these videos, because, as we all know, in Christmas time, work gets a little pretty hectic, so I don't have much time to make room for making videos. And in January, February, that's time I get ready for Katsucon, because I always procrastinate doing my cosplaying for that until the last minute, so I end up spending all of January and most of February getting ready for Katsucon, and then I spend the end of February just trying to get back into the routine of things. So that's probably going to be the norm for now on that one. And so, some last-minute updates just before I go on with the context of this video. The commission for Apollo I haven't forgotten about. It's just that the guy that I'm doing it for is James, who's Keeper of the Fortress Monastery. Since I hang out with him every other day, he's been very finish it later. I really don't need it right now, so I've just been taking my time on that. Plus, I need to wait for magnets for his arms, so now that I got those, I can start working on him again. And so he was very kind, he basically just said, do what you need to get done first, and then you can go back and finish him when you get a chance. So he's getting ready to be done. He's actually sitting in my display case right now, waiting for me to get back to him. And, so, let's now actually go back to what this video is going to be about. It's going to be an unboxing, something I very rarely do on this channel, and I'll probably do more of these on this channel here. And so what we've got is I did an order through Forge World with some of the other Fearless, and it just came about 2 days ago, so we're going to pop that box open and see what's inside. And so let me just turn my camera this way so you can see it. Okay, zoom out. Alrighty, and so what we first got in this lovely box is Starklord's Mark IV Dreadnought Right Arm Multi-Melta. He did also get a close combat arm, but something about the link on the website is not using the correct code, so they had to cancel the order and then reorder it manually, so that's coming in another shipment or something like that. I have no idea. It's really weird that, the website for some reason is not using the proper coding or whatever, but neither here nor there. And for me, I picked up Aureliath, the Phoenix Lord of the Shadow Spectres, which he's really awesome. I used to own all the Phoenix Lords, but when I rejoined back up with the game, I was looking back on them, and I was like, I never really used them, and I don't really need them. I for this, but I decided to pick him up because I really like the Shadow Specters, so I decided to, you know, really go all out with him. This piece right here is his legs. It's fairly similar to the regular Shadow Spectre legs. The only difference is he's got a little bit more detail in his rocks. And, like, there's a couple of them, like, jagged cracks and ridges on it, so it's a little bit more old and worn on him. And he's got a lot of these little cool ruins going down the plating of his armor. But for all extensive purposes, he's pretty much got the same look as the regular Shadow Specters. He comes with also this little sprue that has one of his arms and a bunch of ribbons, and his gun, the Spear of Starlight, which is a pretty nasty little weapon. It's a heavy 3, range 24. I forget what the strength is. I think it's strength 7, AP 3. I could be wrong on that. The only thing I'm not happy with is they altered the rules since the experimental rules came up for the Shadow Specters. They made their prison rifles a range 18, so they're a little bit longer. But they changed the Ghost Light rules to its range being 18 plus 6 for every 2 models in the army, in the squad. So they can only have a max of 36, and even though he's got a longer range, if he's firing into the Ghost Light, it's still a range 18 plus 6. I was like, but I thought it would have been really cool since he's got a more powerful weapon that he can make the Ghost Light shoot further, or at least maybe give it the Lance ability, but I can't really complain. It's still a really cool figure, and this actually does have a power weapon on it, so he can go into close combat. And they just altered their holofields as well. The Shadow Specters and the Phoenix Lord, they can shoot. They can if an attack is done to them from 12 inches or further, their 5-up invuln save turns into a 4-up invuln save, which is really awesome. And there is his torso, which I'm not happy that they placed his head in the piece, but I guess, you know, what they're going off is the fact that all the Phoenix Lords are kind of stuck in one pose, so they decided to make him stuck in one pose. Like, as you see, he's got a square peg in him, so he can only be posed in one real way. But he's got all these cool ruins and details painted on him. Like, I really can't wait. I'm going to go all out with paint colors, like exploiting all the colors that the Shadow Spect Warriors use for them, which is white, pale gray, and silver. So I'm really going to have a lot of fun playing around with that. What's interesting is he's the one Phoenix Lord that disappeared like the Warp Spider one, but unlike the Warp Spider one, he came back. That's like the whole big thing about the new Imperial Armor 11 is they find him and they bring him back because the Shadow Specters are like a dead shrine. And there's only one craft world that really still uses them, aside from, you know, whoever makes, you know, fluff stories that their stories like mine. I'm saying my craft world still has a couple of them, and him coming back is given italic hope that, oh, if he can come back and revitalize his Aspect Warrior Shrine, then there's still hope for the Eldar race. And so I think it's a really cool thing. And so this is pieces to his gun. This is like this focusing matrix that fires tiny beams into the focusing crystal into his gun, and this is just the power pack on the back of the gun itself. And then he's got a regular stand, and that's all there is to Aurelius, the Phoenix Lord of the Shadow Specters. And I also picked up the Wraith Seer. I wasn't originally going to pick this up, but because of a lucky break with a paycheck and my tax return, it wasn't too bad to add him to the list, so I said, okay, I'll put him on as well, and I think he's really awesome. Now I just need a squad of Wraith Guards so I can field him. And what you get is you get his little Power Spear, which basically is a regular Wraith Blade, which does the re-rolling to hits, but it also allows him to add a +1 to his damage chart when attacking vehicles. So, a 4 becomes a 5 becomes a 6, and so he can really do some nasty damage against vehicles, which is really awesome. Gives me, one of the other reasons why I want to pick him up is just because he's so broken, and he gives Wraith Guards and Wraith Lords the Feel No Pain ability. That's one of his psychic powers. He can give one squad of Wraith Guard or Wraith Lord the Feel No Pain. He's got a D cannon, which is really cool. He's the only Wraith Lord that can use a D cannon, which I love D cannons. I think they're one of the best weapons in the Eldar army, so more units that can field them, I love picking them up. He's got these different types of little feet that are a little bit different than the normal feet that you get, plus this hand. It's curved in such a way where it looks like he can actually hold the spear with 2 hands instead, so I'm trying to get into like this crouching battle pose. Hopefully they'll come out pretty cool. This is his top chassis piece, where his head connects, that gives him like his little Wraithbone ruins, and his Shimmer Shield piece that gives him his Invone save. Like, this stuff is ridiculously detailed. I cannot wait to start working on this guy. It's the little fins for the D cannon. The Wraith Lord head. Now, it's a little bit more detailed and a little bit more decorative than the regular one. What I'm going to try and do is once I've picked out the ruin that's the name of my craft world, but I haven't picked out the symbol yet, like their symbol for them. And once I do, I'm going to take the regular Wraith Lord head that comes with him and practice so I can put it right here on him. So, like, just to really make him pop out a little bit more. And then you get these 2 fins for him that are, make him look a little bit different than the Wraith Lord. And then you get the irregular base stand and a Wraith Lord kit. So basically all the parts to make a Wraith Lord, so when you're done, you have a couple of extra bits and some extra weapons and such that you can configure for them. And some extra hands, maybe do some like scratch building or some damage markers or something like that. Pretty cool stuff. And so now what we also got in here is this is something that James ordered. It's Imperial Armor Volume 2. This is Space Marines and Forces of the Inquisition. I think he picked this up because he's like collecting all of them, and this is one of the few that he's missing. So he's just basically making his own grand library for it. And we've got mine, Imperial Armor Volume 11, Doom of Myreria. Now, excuse me if the audio goes really crazy right now. Just going to do a quick last-minute thing. This is a really great book for Eldar players if you like Forge World stuff. And the reason for that is it has every single Forge World model that they've created for the Eldar in this book. All the way from back when they first started with the Vampire Hunter and the Phoenix, I think it is, all the way up to and the Cobra, the Scorpion, the Reverend Titan, all the way up to the Phantom Titan, and all the new stuff that they've thrown, the Shadow Specters, the Phoenix Lord, the Warp Hunter, the Wraith Seer. And they also have rules for Corsair Eldar, for those who want to do more of a pirate clan, which is pretty cool. And as Games Workshop has posted in recent White Dwarfs, the Imperial Armor stuff is usable in regular 40k games. Tournaments you may still have an issue, but like, they no longer write in here, you need player permission to use these things. So technically, this is a supplemental codex for the Eldar. There's a couple of things in here for Imperial Guard and Space Marines, but they primarily are focused on the Eldar with this book. Which, so, like I said, if you're an Eldar player and you're really big into getting some of the Forge World stuff, this book is what you need to pick up. You get a couple of extra data sheets, and plus you get all the Forge World models. You don't need to buy the Apocalypse books because all the Apocalypse characters are in here. You don't need to buy Imperial Armor. I think it's I don't even remember, like Volume 1 I think is when they first started throwing Eldar stuff in there. I could be completely wrong. I'm going off of when the Imperial Armors were this big. Like, that's how long I've been playing this game. I was there when Forge World just started, and then they just had these tiny little codexes, and then they upgraded to these big things, so really huge difference from where they've started from. I wish I still had the old Imperial armors, but I think I forget if I sold them. I think I sold them. I don't remember what I did with them, but I'm 90% sure I sold them, because I sold a lot of my old Warhammer stuff. And then, because I didn't... Pardon my phone. Because I didn't have anyone to play with, and then a bunch of my friends from college got into it, and so I had a reason to get back into the game. But definitely, like I said, Eldar players, only volume you need from Forge Worlds. You don't need any of the other Imperial armors. This is all you need. And so, yep, that's all. Like I said, I apologize for the giant block of no videos. I'm gonna try and pick that up a little bit. Check out Fearless Games. I'm gonna redo all my how to play Battlefleet Gothic videos on there, plus you know, including the new compendium and all that stuff, and a little bit better now that I fully understand the game more. Going to see a lot more battle reports and some interesting surprises with my BFG stuff that I do on Fearless Games. And we also talk about new games such. We're going to get into Dystopian Wars. Hopefully, maybe one day we'll do War Machine. James is trying to get us to do BattleTech, and you get 4 times the reviews on that one, because you've got me, Keeper of the Fortress, Stark Lord, and Cypher's Joker. And, again, if anything, just go there to enter into our contest, so you can enter to win a $60 battle set for free. So, that's it for now, everyone. Until next time, this is lateness Raven, signing off.